Hello, this is Friendly Cat, and we're going to be doing one of my favorite achievements, the Romanovs laugh last. As the Tsar, we need to win the civil war in Russia, and then we need to control the capital states of Turkey, Bulgaria, Germany, Czechoslovakia, Austria, and Hungary. That is control, not own. We don't even need to capitulate those countries. A lot of fun. We will be winning this civil war without any lend-lease or other shenanigans. Let's have a good time, shall we? We're going to, of course, start off on the far right focus tree, and when we see this concern about factionalism, from here on out, we always want to take the top choice whenever Stalin starts to get paranoid. We will be heading down the left side, and we will plan on ahistorical. So here, Turkey, we are going to deny them, and they're going to say, no, we will remain defiant. I'm super excited. I was actually looking forward to this choice. And then I saw it's a 250 pp. Oh, that's awfully costly. All right, Turkey, I'm going to let you go for now. We're going to still take you over, but I'm not going to pay 250 pp to invade you. Our aircraft, standard cast mixed roll. This is a really poor use of it, but I don't have a lot of air XP at the moment. I'll eventually build it up to fuel tanks, self-sealing fuel tanks, and armor plates. As we continue down that left side, try to take it somewhat in order. That women's fascist movement is a killer focus, 35 days with plus 10% factory and dockyard. And here's the first of that Stalin paranoia. Always choose the top option. I don't really care what it is. I often don't read them, just click them and then move on. And you can read the whole thing if you want to, but just don't choose the bottom one where you actually want his paranoia to go back down. Our infantry, I'm kind of starved on army XP on this run. We will eventually head our way up to 27 with 9 infantry battalions and 3 artillery, but for now it's just going to be 1 artillery and a support artillery. We're also going to continue on down, and as we look at the different focuses, you can kind of choose really what order you really care about. Just try to focus if you're going fascist or non-aligned. Here I'm trying to get the highest non-aligned, so I'm taking the focus in an order that increases my non-aligned. We'll also have to play that little train game where we click. Every 14 days or so, we want to head west along the Trans-Siberian Railway. Stay on the railway. Oh, Ethiopia goes communist. That's a cool little ahistorical thing. Oh man, in another world, Ethiopia, I might go down and help you out, but here with upcoming civil war and attacks into Turkey and Romania, oh, it's so tempting because you didn't get on the train. I'd really like to see how this plays out, but I can't see it happen. I don't even see a port. My troops would probably end up getting circled and destroyed, so I'm going to have to give you a pass this time, old pal. German-Soviet treaty. Oh, another ahistorical thing. I don't think this usually happens this early, but we'll take it. I don't mind getting some fast tanks. I'm not necessarily going to go ahead of time too fast, but I really like this ahistorical run is starting to come around. Having a good time here. So we will be taking that treaty. And sure enough, like Germany has gone into a civil war. They do sometimes do that on a historical, so they split. We will not be dealing with a fascist Germany or a Nazi Germany. Once we've taken those focuses, we want to continue down the left side because we do eventually want to initiate the civil war. I'm choosing focuses that improve the non-aligned strength because that's just what I'm looking for increased party popularity. Oh, border conflict with Japan. Oh, I like this. They have to cross a river to attack into us, so it shouldn't be too bad to win this one. Just stack a few divisions on the riverside and you'll win, and then get a 35 cost reduction for land doctrine. That's like 35 army XP. Not too bad. When you declare war on Turkey, Romania will jump in. Just jump across the border. We're going to attack both Turkey and Romania in different ways at the same time. We don't need to wait. There's no reason. Our mountaineers will come in from the west, I guess the east of Turkey, but we're going to head toward the west. We've got tanks pushing right through to that supply depot, and there's really not too much either one of those countries can do with simultaneous attacks. We'll also be naval invading. Again, all of this at the same time. We have enough divisions. Soviet Union has a giant army, so let's just make the most of it and let's move along these battles. No reason to take them slowly. As we continue to head west, it doesn't take long for us to break through, get some encirclements, and then the cavalry and some motorized divisions will break through. Motorized are really nice. Cavalry are technically, I think, sometimes faster because they don't run out of fuel, and they are faster overall across all terrain. Breaking through Romania, same thing. Once we've broken through the front, we can easily push through. find a way to get your cavalry railroaded to the front. If you need to refuel your motorized, bring them back to a supply depot and then railway them back to the front. And sure enough, it doesn't take too long to get through Turkey. Now it's just open country, and we'll capitulate them shortly after this. Not too bad, not too many losses on either one of our sides, which is a nice way to do it. Do keep an eye on, I'm going to go no garrison, just spike resistance here and make life a little harder for stalling later. And sure enough, Romania is the same way. Once you break through that right side or the east side, it's open, and we can bring Turkey, and then eventually we're going to bring Romania to the peace conference as well. In just a few more days, as we just continue to run, cavalry are often going to win the day here. I do like cavalry, and we're going to see them play up a huge role in the Civil War. Latvia is designed to go into its own little civil war, and I decided to help them out. I think they were communist or puppet for communist Russia, and I wasn't sure exactly what would happen if they lost the war. I hope I made the right decision here. We'll just kind of see how it plays out. All right, as we get ready for the Civil War, very clear, we're not doing lend-lease shenanigans. We are going to give Stalin an army. We're not making one battalion anti-air or artillery. He has legitimate infantry troops. I tried to move him around. I hope this doesn't seem too odd. I gave him in different spots. Let's see how it goes. The Civil War starts. Many of those troops will go to us, and as you can kind of tell, I've tried to take land all the way to the west and then curve down a little bit to give a very large front line. And many of those troops came to me. Most of them will be forming in Chita. So this is what the opening of the Civil War should look like if you took a land to the left and then headed east as well from Chita. We're going to take Article 124, and then we'll be locked out until the Civil War is ended for the progression down to the Tsar. So we'll take pretty much any other focus you want, as long as eventually you take the Tsar. This is the secret plan. Convert to cavalry and then walk your way along the railroads. It's actually not that much different than our other civil wars. We don't win by combat, we win by moving around. We're going to get these partisans. I'm going to convert them into cavalry. They're not going to move particularly fast because they'll be out of supply. They take what they can. Maybe they'll die, maybe they'll live. This one dies, maybe all of yours will die, maybe all of yours will live. Just take what you can and do what you can to keep them alive and keep them moving around. Those victory points are generally on the west part of the country. So we're finally getting up to our 27 with infantry. Not the most impressive division. We still have a few more support companies to add, but we'll take what we can. Now when we get into combat, if they're attacking us, just let them attack, and then move around. Our goal is to, again, stay along the railroads, try to avoid combat when possible, and we have so many cavalry divisions that we just want to head west. Here we've railroaded or strategically redeployed quite a few divisions, and then once we get them out to their spot, some will head forward along the railway lines, and others will head back to cover land or the territory behind us. And here we've now moved far enough forward that even though it looks like we're getting red bubbles or having trouble fighting along the railway line, our troops are encircling, are just bypassing those Russian infantry. And here we are continuing to move. Some of our little troops now have combined into a group of 3, and they're fighting for their lives, while another one tries to make a way to Stalingrad. I hope he makes it to Stalingrad. I've got troops heading to the west, and they're going to try to link up and save him. If the partisans live long enough, they will be destroyed. Now our infantry divisions are moving finally off to the west from Chita. They railroaded their way over here, so we will encircle and destroy any divisions that we can, just to make things a little bit easier, particularly if they're sitting on a railway line. Alright, now in this case, again, what focus you take, other than going down the Tsar, don't really matter. Take research slot. I go for a research slot and some industry, but if you want to pursue army improvements, that makes sense. And about 35 days in on my run, when I start getting defections, and I'm not sure exactly when you'll get them on your run, but when you get them, they'll start coming fast and furious. Every couple of days, Stalin will lose divisions, lose troops, and you'll gain them. So as you gain them, add them to your army, convert them to cavalry, and then continue to move west. Watch the railway lines. You don't necessarily need to take every railway line, but try to stay along the railway line and the supply depots and just keep moving west, moving west. And in this case, we're going to walk into Moscow, so we get a couple events, desertions, infantry. Soviet Union is just about capitulated. We've done pretty well for ourselves. Turns out that puppet didn't cause too much trouble, and without too much more effort, the Civil War is complete in just under 60 days. With our Civil War complete, we could spend the next few years building up, but we're 40 mil major. We're Russia with a giant army, so let's prepare to move out. Let's look around since we are on non-historical or ahistorical focuses. Looks like France hasn't decided what it wants to do. Looks like Britain is going to go communist again. Now, I want to bite off little things. Historical, we know what's going to happen and when, what day of the week Japan's going to declare on China generally. But on ahistorical, we don't know. We know some countries are going to go civil war just like we did and just like Latvia. So I don't really want to get Poland or Greece because they could go civil war. Czechoslovakia is a good pick. Germany, what are they looking? They haven't chosen what they're going to do. I think Hungary is actually a great choice because there's a good chance that they won't be guaranteed by France or Britain. If they are, no problem, we can take them out. But they're also landlocked, they're small, so they're bite-sized. I know it's a little bit maybe a slow start, but let's see how it goes. And if it works out well, then we'll take bigger bites later on. So let's justify on Hungary. We need to take them anyway for the achievement, so let's see how it goes. I sure hope this works out a nice, smooth run. Okay, this is that monstrosity of a division. I've just been starved for Army XP, so go ahead, share this, use it yourself. It's not a great division at all, but it's what I've got, and so it's what we're going to be using for the beginning part of the war until I can convert it into a little bit better of a 20 or 27 with. As we go to war with Hungary, it looks like Britain, France, and Czechoslovakia have all declared war, or all guaranteed, and now Yugoslavia is in on it. Okay, so maybe I bit off a little bit more than I could chew, but I think we'll do okay. So France has now joined Czechoslovakia, and Germany has joined Hungary. Yeah, this is starting to feel like a disaster save. Maybe I didn't choose the right country, but that's all right. We're going to move around. We got our first, looks like, encirclement of Hungary. We're going to be able to move west. And this is primarily an infantry army. Most of my mobile troops are down, headed toward Suez, and they're going to sprint through a nice little encirclement. They're looking like they've got some open territory in front of them. Mobile troops, particularly fast troops, either motorized or tanks, are very important if you're going to try to race to the Suez. So that's why I moved my mobile troops down there, and infantry can slog the way through Hungary. There they go, flying through Tel Aviv. They are on the march. They want to get to Suez before either the British or the French have a time to build up a large defense there. Crossing the river is tough enough as it is. Not too hard to get into Budapest. We're having a hard time fighting off Czechoslovakia, but we're also staying at least one tile away from Czechoslovakia so they don't feel the need to march into Hungary to help them out. And that's it. Looks like we've got Hungary. That wasn't too bad. We still are kind of sandwiched between Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia, and we're fighting to the canal. But because we got a capitulate on Hungary, we're going to race our cavalry over to Yugoslavia's undefended borders and try to grab what easy territory we can. And we're also going to try to cross the Suez. I think we got this. This is one of the pivotal moments, because if we can cross the Suez, we can cut it off, we can hold it, and there it goes. I'm feeling really much better. Sure, I'm fighting off several majors and bit off more than I can chew, but we're going to do fine. All right, I love it. I love these kind of naval invasions, that single horse on the move. Go get him, boy. I've got an infantry and a tank redeployed, maybe an overkill, but you never know what's really going to be there. Fortunately, things are going really well in Africa. We've got a couple encirclements, mobilized units, or mobile units. Those tanks are racing south. We do not plan to go on full safari, but we are going to head south for a little bit. We finally got caught up in Yugoslavia. There's rivers, there's mountain. It's tough. Even if I had mobile troops, it'd be tough, but we're just going to slog our way through it, try to be smart. Lots of red bubbles. Fortunately, by now we've put enough divisions in the field that we can comfortably hold off Czechoslovakia while we focus on both Yugoslavia with our main troops. Germany has now naval invaded. This isn't as bad as it seems because I can hold them, and the less troops they have in Germany, the more troops they have in my country, the less they have in Germany. All right, The attack through Africa, through Egypt, is going very well. We've got a little encirclement again, not a big one, but then again, Britain and France don't really have large armies here in 1937, so we'll take what we can get. We shouldn't have too much problem holding off Germany as long as we can hold that supply depot around, I think it's Riga, because after that, they can't connect up supply anywhere else. And there's a river, so we shouldn't have a problem holding this. I've got an infantry and armor unit in reserve, but I'll redeploy them soon enough. With enough tough fighting, we can overpower Yugoslavia. We do have many mills. I don't know if we have more than 40, maybe 50 at this point, but we've broken free and we've got cavalry racing free on the east side. And that's it. That's as far south as we'll really go. We're going to take that supply depot. We'll set up defensive positions along the river. We are not going into safari into Africa. We just want to secure the Suez, and this is one of the easiest ways to do that. That's it. Yugoslavia is ours. We're also just about ready to take our last focus to form the Tsar, which is of course necessary for this achievement. I hope when he comes on board he'll be proud of what we've accomplished so far. We're also going to start to justify in Bulgaria, and I'm pretty confident that we've got this well in hand, and it's going to take us a while to complete that justification. We're still non-aligned, and it looks like Italy might join the war, but I think I can take care of them. 135 days from now, I should have most of the rest of the world at least well in hand, at least no worse off than we are now, so we'll be able to take care of that. This is what our southern border will look like in Africa. We'll eventually move those cavalry north, but we'll leave a couple yellow infantry divisions just sitting there right on the border. And now it's time to take care of Yugoslavia. We're going to start ripping through countries now because we can now focus on much less troops. So we're going to isolate those Czechs to the east. We won't actually necessarily destroy them. And of course, the war in the Baltics. Very exciting, not of strategic importance, but still a lot of troops died and a lot of exciting battles up there. Finally, it's 1938. We can make a tank that I really enjoy. It's going to be a medium. We are making it fast, so it's a little bit expensive, not really great reliability, but it's designed to eventually be placed on those motorized or armor units we have now in place of the light tanks we currently use. A little push forward, and we've got an encirclement of, looks like maybe some Czech and French troops. Those French troops have been moving around the world quite a bit. I'm not sure how many will be left at home when we finally get there. More adventures in the Baltics. Now we're going to cross the river. I probably could have just left this alone. It really wasn't necessary, but I don't know, it just felt like a fun little adventure. And, I didn't really like that they'd crossed the river and cut my railway line, so are you going to be a little aggressive? Okay, maybe you're going to be a lot aggressive. Oh, they took our capital. That's kind of silly, but you know what? Losing the capital does mean that we're going to have to move troops north, but troops that are by our capital means there's less in Germany. Return of the Tsar. Hope you're proud of us, pal. It's a really cool little narrative here that he's here to regain the pride of the nation, regain the path to attaining former glory. Well, I hope he's proud of us. We kind of took some steps in the right direction, and now we get that cool green. I like the color white country, but the cool green is pretty awesome as well, just as we take out Prague, excuse me. After this focus, again, the focuses don't really matter that much. I took industry focuses to play for a long game. And once we take Czechoslovakia, again, just like when we went into Hungary, we stayed off the German border, and that means German troops were less likely to come down to visit us. And that means once we capitulate Czechs, we can start racing cavalry across the country. Germany will eventually send troops down, but we can get just a little bit of a lead and just about walk into Berlin without too much trouble. It probably doesn't help that many of their troops are up in the Baltics and then heading into St. Petersburg, so those troops probably could have been at home. Another naval invasion. That's right, we can take care of this. And once again, troops that are visiting us are troops that aren't going to be at home, so let's see how this works out for you, Great Britain, to send all these troops out around the world. And we continue to move through through Germany, and as you can tell, they just don't quite have the divisions. 4, 5, 6 divisions might be enough to hold the line. It wouldn't hold us back, but at least it would keep our cavalry from just running rampant through their country. At least it makes for a nice, quick victory. We're continuing to break loose. We don't really need a lot of encirclements to overpower Germany. They just don't have that many divisions to begin with. But soon enough, we'll be moving our way to capitulating Germany. Just a few more victory points. We don't need to fight unnecessarily. We can close pockets when we want to. And there it is. The last of the victory points, it looks like, as we head into Hamburg, I think will be enough. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We took care of Germany and another check off the achievement list. And we take them to the peace conference. With Germany gone, let's see how many troops France has. We're finally starting to make a somewhat good mobile division. It's a 20 width at this point, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe we'll have it all perfect just about when the achievement run completes. Looks not too bad. As we head toward France, it turns out they kind of abandoned the Maginot. They tried to cross over into Germany, so it didn't take too much effort for us to cross right back. Mobile troops racing across France. It is 1938, so they never really had that many troops, I guess. I mean, they had a fair amount of troops, but spreading them all over the world didn't help out. And as usual, if we can cross into France, race our mobile troops ahead, railroad those cavalry units where possible. We're not here to cut, we're not here to destroy the French army, just race to Paris. They still have the malice, so they will capitulate relatively quickly. And we take another peace conference. Like Germany, they'd formed their own faction. I guess maybe Czechs had formed a faction, so they did not join the Allies in this ahistorical run, and we can bring them to the peace conference and take their fleet. On to Bulgaria. Bulgaria did not bring in or get guaranteed by Italy. They ended up joining the Allies, which is kind of cool. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, I do have troops on the Italian border in every direction, pretty much. That's important, so that if things did go south, we could hold on to, or just make an easier run on Italy. But Bulgaria falls relatively quickly, and Italy did not join them. On to Great Britain. Yeah, looks like their troops had also been out and about all over the world, maybe in Africa, maybe with the encirclements. There was very few people at home, very few troops at home, and our fleet was also sufficient to have a relatively peaceful landing, and then just headed right across the island. We've got cavalry, motorized. This is, of course, getting easier and easier as the number of majors that were opposing us become lesser and lesser, or fewer and fewer. And with a little bit of moving up the coast, we will very soon capitulate Great Britain and the Allies and take all of their states and the ships as well. It's getting pretty easy and easy. Maybe this wasn't a disaster save like I thought it was when we first started to attack Hungary. Now our justification with Austria is come, and Italy had guaranteed Austria. I think that was through one of their focuses, so we're heading toward Vienna. Once we control Vienna, I think that would be the end of the achievement run, because we control their capital state, and we've already taken the others. We're not going to waste time though. We're going to make sure we go after Italy. We've got naval invasions. They didn't quite defend their southern or their western, southwestern border as well as they probably could have. So motorized troops will race through the country. It's somewhat unnecessary, but better safe than sorry. We will take Vienna. I think we take it on August 20th. It's just on that corner, upper corner, and I think with taking that city, that victory point, the run is done. We'll finish off Austria and Italy just for fun, but the run is complete. Well, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoy playing majors. I really enjoy playing the Civil War. I hope you had a lot of fun watching. I hope it makes your next run a little bit easier. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave below in the comments below, or if you've got an achievement run that you'd like to see me do. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and thank you very much for watching.